This is the pipe spring analyzer module for the Hydronics Design Studio 3.0, and it analyzes the fluid flow through a series of hydronic circuits with up to 3 different pipe sizes. It has the typical pull-down menus for the circulators, for the piping, and for the fluids. There's a series of 3 different, or can be, a series of up to 3 different pipes in a string or a series, and it calculates what the head losses and other parameters you might want to know in a hydronics circuit. Let's get into the details and show you how it works. Okay, let's start with the start screen, and then this last icon to the right is the pipe string analyzer. I'll pick that, and it starts out with only 1 segment of pipe. We can have up to 3 segments of pipe, and depending on which pipe you want to look at, you'll pick here. And they're color coded, showing you here are the outputs for segment 2, here are the outputs for segment 3. If you want to look at segment 3 in terms of inputs, here we have the yellow text boxes to input. You could have a different size pipe. Say we got 1.5" on segment 3, we have 3/4 inch on segment 2, and then we'll pick here for segment 1, and let's go with 1/2 inch. This is warning the flow is over the maximum, which may be an issue, may not, depending on what you're looking for. I'll close that warning, but you can see it tells you what the velocities are here. This is 5, which is greater than the maximum velocity I wanted with the warning. It gives you output in terms of Reynolds numbers, internal volume of the pipe, equivalent length of the pipe. Since it's only 100 feet, it's 100-foot equivalent length. If you start adding valves, again we get the warning. Let me bring that flow rate down a little bit so we don't keep getting that warning. Let's say it's 2 gallons per minute. So it brought the velocities down a little bit, and let me put in some more valves, and you can see the equivalent length is now 104, even though there's 100 feet of pipe, and then we got a couple of 90-degree elbows and some straight T's. Let me put in a couple of valves, and you can see that that number there goes up a little bit in terms of equivalent length. Let's see, if you want to calculate this based on flow rate on a particular circulator, then you click on that, and then you can pick from the circulator database. You can pick the type of circulator that you're going to be using in this, and it calculates what the flow rates are based on that. Again, it's giving you a warning here for flow rates because the flow rates are a little bit high. Yep, and the velocities are a little bit less because this is 1/2 inch. I believe I've set it to 1/2 inch. Let's go. Yeah, let's make it a little bit larger. Bring it up to 1 inch. Okay. Antifreeze. If you do have antifreeze, velocity is still a little bit high. Oh, it's high in this one, 3/4 inch. So what I could do is put a smaller pump on there. Still giving me that warning. Pumps are a little bit too big. Let me try a smaller pump. There we go. The velocity is still a little bit big here. So let me say, let me go with a little bit larger. Go to segment 2, and let's go with a little bit larger pipe on that. Go with 2 inch. I'm still getting a maximum velocity here. Let me try a smaller pump. Yep, now my flow rates are down. I got a flow rate of 5.62 gallons per minute. Head loss. This is the head loss, or head loss across each one of those segments, and this is the total head loss. Total pressure drop, total internal volume, and how much antifreeze you would need if you had antifreeze in there. Let me pick an antifreeze just to show you. That will tell you how much antifreeze you need at a 20% mixture rate. Okay, the interface is very similar to what you've seen in the other modules. If you want to go to multi-mode circulators, you pick here, and again it brings up a default one, and it looks like the velocities are running a little bit too high for this. Probably because I don't have much of resistance in there. I only got 100 feet of 2-inch pipe in one of these, so its resistance is relatively low. You can see the pressure, the head losses or pressure drop is relatively low. If I started adding valves and elbows and all in that, this all would come down. Or I could pick a different circulator. And that seemed to get my velocities down. My overall flow rate is still in the neighborhood. Okay, let me real quick go back. I can go back to just one circuit if I wanted to, just one segment, and designate what that segment is. I can also change the pump. Let me go back to the standard pumps. And I think that's about sums up the interface on this. It's pretty straightforward. How many segments you have of different size pipe, up to 3, and then you can look or designate what you have in each one of these other segments. Okay, that's about it. Thank you for your time. Bye.